Hi, welcome along to AFTV Transfer Daily, the show that keeps you up to date with players that have been linked with a summer transfer move to Arsenal. Most of the talk around today in the newspapers and the media is all about England versus Wales. It's a massive game. Poland are playing Germany. Euro's in full effect at the moment. And I was thinking to myself, this Jamie Vardy thing has kind of cooled down recently. But I'm thinking to myself, what must Vardy be thinking right now? For me, if he was an Arsenal player right now, or if he decided to, let's just say he was already an Arsenal player, I personally think that tonight he'd be starting. Harry Kane had a poor first game, had quite a lot of criticism after that game, and I think if Vardy was an Arsenal player, he would be starting. It's always easier to leave out a player that's playing for a sort of lesser club like a Leicester. And is that playing on Vardy's mind, and Vardy thinking to himself, well, you know what, when I'm making my decision, I need to think about these things. I need to think about the World Cup coming up in 2 years' time, the World Cup qualifiers. I want to be playing. I want to be starting, as a matter of fact. Am I going to start if I play for Leicester? Can Leicester repeat what we did last season? If we drop off, will I even get in the squad? But if I go to Arsenal, I'm going to be in a high-profile club. And if I do well at Arsenal, I'm going to be in this squad. And surely all those things must be running on his mind today as he goes into that game against Wales, where again, it looks like Harry Kane will probably start. But also, I'm looking at it and I'm thinking to myself, you know, every day in the comments, I get loads and loads of people suggesting all these different strikers that Arsenal need to sign. And we know we need a striker. We cannot go into this season without a striker. Giroud was in action last night and he scored in the first game, hit the post last night, had a decent enough performance, but didn't score. Shows that we need another alternative. Even France have got another alternative. Giroud weren't performing, they bought him off, bought on Gignac. Gignac injected a bit more pace into the game. Griezmann came on and scored. This is what we need as well. We need an alternative to Olivier Giroud. So, everyone's always making loads of suggestions, and I was like, you know what, I'm going to have a look at them. We're going to go on a scouting mission right now, and let's take a look at some of the players that you guys suggest. And as a matter of fact, I'm making all of you guys today scouts, yeah? Your mission is to go back and bring me back one of these strikers that I'm going to mention, but there are a lot of pitfalls, right? So let's go through them. Let's go through some of the strikers. First of all, Alvaro Morata, right? Morata, we know now is probably going to be available to move. He's at Juventus, but Real Madrid have a buyback clause. So it's complicated. You can't just go out there and make a bid for him straight away, because it's likely that Real Madrid will buy him back for about 20 odd million, then sell him on for whoever comes with the highest bid. We're hearing that Morata is after wages of 7.5 million a year, which is really, really high for a guy, for me, who still hasn't done it. He didn't look that effective the other day for Spain. He hasn't got a mega goal scoring record, and it's going to be expensive. And there's other clubs like Man United, Chelsea, all of them are going to be interested. Is it worth waiting on Morata? Is Morata going to be the answer to Arsenal's problems? Is Morata going to score 25 goals next season? I'm not sure. I'm not sure about that. What do you guys think? You guys are the scouts. Is he gettable? What do you think? Let me know. Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang. Most Arsenal fans are dreaming of this guy. He would be absolutely perfect. 36 goals last season. But price tag going to be 60 to 70 million pounds. Dortmund do not want to sell him. You're seeing him at the moment. They don't even want to sell Henrik Mkhitaryan, and he's only got a year left on his contract. He'll probably be able to walk away from free, but they're desperate to hold on to Aubameyang. They had to sell Hummels to Bayern, which has really, really hurt them. They've lost Ike Gundogan to Manchester City. They don't want to sell their best player. And also the player himself has said that if he does move, he'd prefer a move to Spain, to Real Madrid. He's promised his grandfather or grandmother that is the club that he wants to play for next. It's going to be very difficult. Even if he becomes available, it'd be some sort of bidding war. Manchester City, we heard, are sniffing around. That price could start at 60 million and go up to 70, 80 million? Is it worth waiting on Pierre-Emerick Aubameyang with a chance that he's more than likely would not want to come to Arsenal, because Arsenal at the moment are no bigger as a football club, I'm not on about financially, than Dortmund? So do you wish to wait on that Aubameyang deal? All right, what about Edinson Cavani? Well, we're hearing now that there were, talk that Arsenal were looking at Cavani, but we're hearing now that PSG have reportedly offered him a new long-term deal to keep him at the club till 2020, and they're offering him massive wages. So it looks like that one's dead. Gonzalo Higuain, another guy that we know has been banging in over 30 goals last season in the Italian league. But again, Napoli offering him mega wages to stay at the club. It's going to be very, very hard to get him away. If you do, again, it'll be another bidding war, because Chelsea's, City's, everybody will be sniffing around for him. But it looks like Higuain is an absolute hero over there in Napoli. And when you're a hero in Napoli, anybody who knows Naples knows it's not the easiest club to walk away from. So Higuain will be very, very difficult to do. Robert Lewandowski, a dream for all Arsenal fans, would be perfect. We know his goal-scoring record, but realistically, Lewandowski, only the Spanish giants Barcelona or Real Madrid at this stage will be able to get him. And again, Bayern Munich, they've got him on a contract at the moment. They don't need to sell. He's their star man. He's the goal scorer. They want to win the Champions League. There seems to be absolutely no way that they would let Robert Lewandowski leave the club. What about Lukaku, Romelu Lukaku? 18 goals last season. He says he wants to move. He wants to play Champions League football. Probably available for about 50 million pounds. But is he worth it? Is he clinical enough? I saw him the other night for Belgium. I know you can't judge it off of one game, but even throughout the season, I talked to my mates at Toffee TV, the Everton channel, and they say that Robbie, his touch is poor. He's not clinical enough. He's very, very raw. He's only 22, but is he worth the risk right now? Is he worth that sort of money, 50 million pounds? What do you guys think? Do you reckon we should move for Lukaku? Do you reckon he's worth that sort of money? And again, wouldn't be the easiest player to sign, because, again, a lot of teams would be after him. But would Lukaku be worth that sort of money? There's also Alexander Lacazette. Now, a bit more reasonable. Again, a good goal-scoring record. 21 goals last season. Great goal-scoring record the season before. He scores goals. Could be available, but Lyon have already rejected a £31 million offer from West Ham, and he would be, again, a very, very difficult player to sign, because Lyon always, push a hard bargain, but he is gettable. I do think that Alexander Lacazette would be gettable. It's just a matter of that you're going to have to pay over the odds to secure the services of him. Islam Slimani as an alternative. Would he be the striker? I think he had 27 goals last season for Sporting Lisbon, Algerian international. We hear a release clause of around about £24 million. But yeah, he scored all those goals in the Portuguese league, and no disrespect to the Portuguese league, but once you're not playing Porto, Benfica and a couple other teams, is the standard the same as playing in the Premier League? It's a lot easier to score those goals over there than it is to score it in the Premier League. Would he be the answer for Arsenal? Islam Slimani. What do you guys think? You're the scouts. What do you think? What about Michy Batshuayi from Marseille? Talked up a lot, this kid. Only 22. Scored 21 goals, I think it was, last season. But we're being told that Marseille want £32 million for Batshuayi, who hasn't even figured yet in the Belgium team. Seems to be behind Lukaku and Benteke in the team. Worth it for you guys? Is he worth the risk? Again, he scored those goals in the French league, but do you think he could come over here and replicate that at a club like Arsenal? What do you reckon? And finally, Vincent Janssen, AZ Alkmaar, 30 goals last season in the Dutch league, valued at about 25 million. We hear that Spurs are sniffing around him, quite a few other clubs. But will Janssen be the answer? Is Janssen the guy that could come to Arsenal and bang in the goals? The Dutch league is notorious. You know, you can get strikers over there like Suarez who can bang in the goals. You can get many other strikers who've come from the Dutch league who've had great scoring records in the Dutch league. Look at Memphis Depay last season and come to the Premier League and just has not been able to bang the goals in. So there you go. There's a whole list of targets there. And then when you look down those targets and you look at some of them are completely unavailable, really, realistically. And you think to yourself, Jamie Vardy, I can see why Arsenal would move for Jamie Vardy. He's proven in the Premier League. He's scored the goals. And if you can meet that release clause and the guy decides and says, yes, I'm coming, why not? That's one of the best strikers available. Looking through that list, for me, I'd say Vardy. If you can't get Vardy, right, then I'd go for Lacazette. That's me looking at that list, because those, for me, are the two ones that are possible to get that, for me, would be successful. But what do you guys think? Leave it in the comments below. Are there other strikers that you think maybe I've missed? There's guys like Mario Icardi, who's a top striker for Inter Milan, but again, is a striker who says, I don't want to leave. And Inter Milan have said, I don't want to sell. This is it. You know what I mean? You can draw up these lists and you can say, yeah, I want him. Why ain't Wenger getting him? It's not as simple as that. This, I hope, gives you a little indication. But I want to know what you guys think. Who else out there is available that you think could come in and be an improvement on what we've got at Arsenal? That's what it has to be. It has to be that striker that's going to come and give us 20 to 25 goals and push us on to win the title, because we know we need goals. Let us know. Leave it in the comments below. Thanks for watching this special version of Transfer Daily on strikers, and we'll be back round about the same time tomorrow.